Welcome back, YouTube, to part two of the NFL football season preview. We are going to wrap up the AFC South today. We're going to talk about the division winner of the AFC South, which would be the Houston Texans. I think the theme for them would be they are an underrated powerhouse in a extremely crowded AFC, and there are a number of factors that go into why they are underrated. But some of them are out of their control. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Houston Texans in this video. So let's go along for the ride here. So if we take a look at Houston Texans, of course they have not been around that long. They're one of the younger franchises in the NFL, along with like Carolina and Jacksonville, stuff like that. So their overall all-time record is 162, 209, and 1. The one time coming ironically in the division against the Indianapolis Colts, where they do not have a lot of luck against them, only winning about 29% of the time. Jacksonville, Tennessee, different story. Jacksonville, they win at least 2 out of 3 matchups every year, and then Tennessee, they're hovering right around 500. So Houston last season, it was kind of you can beat the little teams, but you couldn't really rise up to beat the big boys. They did have a win against Buffalo in Houston in Week 5 of last year, but when it came to just the good teams in the NFL, they got blown out at Minnesota. They lost against Green Bay. They lost against Detroit. They lost against Kansas City, and they only put up 2 points in an extremely losing effort against the Baltimore Ravens. So the knock on Houston says you can go 10-7, which they did last season, which is just fine. But when it comes down to beating the big boys, especially in the AFC, especially when that top four teams have been Baltimore, it's been Buffalo, Kansas City. You can throw in Cincinnati for what they've done in the postseason 4 years ago. But outside of that, they haven't done anything, and it's kind of showing a little bit. D'Amico Ryans, in his third year, has put together a stellar defense against, I mean, again, against formidable competition, as to say. But he needs to win the big one. He needs to beat the Kansas City. He needs to beat the Buffaloes. I mean, he did it. He beat the Buffaloes, but it's like he needs to beat them consistently in order to get that reputation of a winning kind of a team. Now, if we look at their depth chart, their projected key stars for this season, we got C.J. Stroud, of course, at quarterback, who has transcended this offense ever since he came in the league 3 years ago. Joe Mixon, the former Bengal, he's going to be in his second season, I believe, in Houston. Dalton Schultz, the tight end there, old and reliable, always good. Nico Collins is going to be good. And then you also got Christian Kirk. He was banged up for Jacksonville last year, but should be able to return. But the key injury is that, of course, Tank Dell did go down with that torn ACL, MCL. Whole knee just pretty much just got split open, essentially, in a loss against Kansas City back in Week 17. So he is unlikely to play this season, so that's why it's not included him in my key starters. Now on defense, that defense is one of the scariest defenses in the NFL, led by Will Anderson Jr. You've got you got Daniil Hunter, you got Henry To'oTo'o, along with Aziz Al-Shaair. Derek Stingley Jr. is a lockdown corner on the left side there. You got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and then you got Kamari Lassiter, of course, to round up the corner, and then that free safety position. So they've got the talent, but now if you take a look at their schedule, it's I'm afraid it's going to turn into kind of a similar situation. Of course, last year they lost to Kansas City in the divisional round. They went 10-7. Over under for them for this season is 9.5 wins. Just a disclaimer: I do have them win the division sizably once again because that division is just soft. But I do have them getting off kind of to a rocky start. I have them going 2-3 before the bye week. Of course, losing to the Los Angeles Rams. I have them losing to Tampa Bay at home in the home opener against the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. I have them losing at Baltimore in Week 5. Before they hit that really early bye week, which having that early bye week is going to cause some issues for them, I believe. I do have them losing that Monday night game at Seattle exclusively on ESPN Plus. But I do have them going on a little bit of a run. They're going to beat San Francisco. They're going to beat Denver. They'll beat Jacksonville, and they'll beat Tennessee in their backyard. But then in a rematch from last season against Buffalo, I do have them losing at home in this one on Thursday. They'll beat Indianapolis. They'll lose to KC. And then they'll go 2-2 in weeks 15 through 18. I do not have them beating the Chargers, and I have them resting their stars in week 18, so they'll lose to the Indianapolis Colts in that one. I have them going 9-8, and I do have them losing in the wild card round in the home opener for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be just another wasted season in Houston. They got the talent. They could always prove me wrong. They could go win the big ones, lose the questionable ones. Like that could be the narrative for every team in the NFL. But I think they're going to go for a slow start, go 2-3 before the week 6 bye week, and then kind of go on a little bit of a cruise control situation, winning will be 7 of their last 11 games. All right, so this wraps up the AFC South with the Houston Texans winning the division. I have them once again winning this one comfortably by 4 games against the 3 games compared to second place team, which I had the Tennessee Titans winning that one. But in the next part of the series, we're going to discuss the AFC North, which is arguably the most competitive division in the NFL. So we're going to go ahead and move on to that division starting in the next video. This has been your man Dylan signing off about the Houston Texans, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video discussing the AFC North. Have a great day.